This is from, I'm scared I'm going to butcher his name. This is from Marco Escoto, or maybe it's Marco Escoto, I don't know. Are you pleased so far with Francis Lawrence's directing style? Or could he have done a better job, taking into consideration what we've seen so far? So what have we seen so far? We've seen the teaser trailer, and that's basically it. But we have seen or heard him or read quotes from him in interviews kind of talking about his approach to the film. I guess let's start with Rebekah. Do you feel kind of satisfied with what you've seen so far from Lawrence, or do you think he's lacking in some areas?
I'm actually pretty confident, and this might sound a little strange, but it's because he hasn't been as active in putting out in the public what his vision is and whatnot. I kind of felt like Gary Ross was a little bit too in the media about everything, because maybe he felt that he had to reassure people even more than Francis does or did. So I kind of like that he's keeping it more, close to his chest, and it'll make it a little bit more surprising. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm just going to say this isn't necessarily something that's been reflected in the footage we've seen so far, but kind of like what you just said, Rebekah, Gary Ross was so involved and kind of present in everything, and we kind of learned via interviews and like the DVD extras that Gary Ross was not he wasn't really a delegator, I guess is what I'm saying. He kind of had his hand in every pot at once, which is good, but sometimes I think it's better to delegate things, and that's what Francis Lawrence seems to be doing. So I like that. I think that's, a good thing.
I think
Tiffany, do you have, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I would say that in many cases it's kind of felt like Gary Ross was spreading himself too thin and wasn't allowing other creative minds to come to the table and take some of the weight off of him, which may have been why some things were lacking in the Hunger Games. So, anyways, I have a lot of confidence in Francis Lawrence. And on to the next person.
And also, I don't know whose decision it was to film the arena scenes in IMAX, but I think that's a great decision. I don't know if that was something Lawrence, pushed for, but who knows. Okay, Tiffany, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so from what I've seen of what Francis Lawrence has done for the movie and what he's talked about and how he's approached, interview questions that have been asked of him, I'm really, really excited to see what he's done with the series. There's something about him that seems very I feel like he gets it with what the audience wants. I don't know how he seems like he's a little bit more hip to the cool with what a younger audience wants.
That sounded like the kind of phrase that a younger audience would want, hip to the cool.
Exactly.
Natalie, do you have any thoughts?
I agree with the others. I'm pretty excited so far. I saw the Catching Fire trailer. I must have seen it in theaters already, but I saw it for the first time in a while yesterday when I was at the movie theaters, and just kind of reappreciated everything we've seen so far, and agreeing with the whole being tied into the kids. All the protest scenes, I think we've said before on the show, reminded us of I think the protests in Egypt, and all the Capitol scenes. I just think I get the sense there's a lot of different kinds of scenes and set pieces he's dealing with, but so far they all seem really strong on their own. So I feel together they all look good. But I don't know director's jargon, so I can't really speak too much to it. But I'm very optimistic so far, not even cautiously, just pretty strongly optimistic.
Well, that's good. I am too, I think. Ariel, do you have any opinions on Francis Lawrence so far?
I feel the same way. I'm not well up on my movie jargon and director things, but No, I'm really excited, and what I've seen so far just looks great, and like makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel excited and scared, and I don't know. I feel like it'll be great, and it's evoking all the right emotions from viewers so far. So I think it's a great job.
Jessica, do you have any comments about this?
I agree with everyone. I started agreeing with everyone as soon as I realized that the question was not about Jennifer Lawrence's style of dress. I did not properly hear it. I didn't hear Frances Lawrence was directing. I heard Jennifer Lawrence's dress. I got pretty confused. Now I'm on the same page. Apparently not hip to the cool, but I think that Frances Lawrence will do a very good job. Yes, as he has already.
Yes, let's talk about Jennifer Lawrence's style evolution. Adam, do you have any final comments on the Frances Lawrence question?
I really feel like it's just so early to say, but you know, the point of that question, of course, is nobody knows, so they're asking us, presuming that we might know something or have at least an opinion. I mean, I'll say this. Everything we've seen so far I think has been encouraging, and I really did like the way that trailer was put together, the teaser, the trailer thing, which, if that's indicative of how the movie is going to be shot, then I think we're in really good hands. The other thing that I just, you know, relying on, I guess, is the actors seem to be pleased, and you know they were all very attached to Gary Ross. So I think the fact that everyone seems to be a happy family and there's a good vibe circulating around, that's a good sign. But, you know, the truth is you really never know until you actually walk into a movie. I'll give you an example. I was so excited to see Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy because I thought that was one of the best trailers I had seen. I was so excited, and not that the movie was bad, but it was absolutely nothing like the trailer. And I learned from that day on never to fully trust trailers. Let it stimulate your interest, but you just don't fully know. So I think until we actually get large quantities of scenes or, quite frankly, seeing the movie itself, we're never going to fully know. But all signs seem to be pointing positively as of now.
I agree. My feeling is that a lot of what we're seeing is what other people in the creative team are putting out, because at the end of the day, he's in charge for a lot of what the movie puts out, but really he's directing the actors. A lot of what we're seeing is, okay, so the director of photography shot things in cool ways, and they collaborated and had good ideas. And the PR team and whoever put the trailer together, yes, they had really good ideas too, but I think what we're going to see, his directing style, is how the actors pull through with it and how he guided them into the new parts of their roles and some of the newer roles.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you. And Adam, what you just said about, you know, seeing the actors respond positively to Frances Lawrence, I think kind of a big, I don't know if I want to say selling point, I don't know if that's quite the right term, but, you know, as we all know, Woody Harrelson is probably the person who was most attached to Gary Ross. You know, he only agreed to do the movie because of Gary, and he has said multiple times in interviews that he was really, really devastated when Gary Ross left. And since then, you know, we've seen Woody Harrelson say nothing but, you know, very genuinely positive things about Frances Lawrence. So I feel like if Woody's on board with it and okay, then I think we should all be pretty good with it.